so we are life. So for practice, what we need to do, I will tell you today. See, there are 4 things what we need to have. Number 1, we need to have this something called as bhave tabba in Pali, but in English, if you take it as to develop. So we have to develop something which generally doesn't exist. Okay, so we have to develop that so that it becomes very handy, and that creates the sati. This is the first thing. So we have to develop something. Then the second thing we have to do is to know something very fully, completely, end to end. That is, if we are looking at, let us say I'm looking at this computer, I need to focus completely to see that what is there in the computer. So I will then get to know the software and hardware and everything that can be known. Okay, that is called as parinya. So one is bhavetabba, one is parinya, that is to be fully known. The third one, we need to do something of elimination. So we have some bad things and that has to be eliminated. So we don't have to hold it. So whatever we think we don't require, just like we have old clothes and then we don't require it, so we can give it off. Or the best example I could give you is that we find dust in our home, so we take it out by sweeping it, and then we will mop the floor, and also we will use the cloth to clean the table and all that, chair and table and everything. Then there is something that has to be seen for oneself. This is beyond development. So this is called as Abhinya, like what I was explaining yesterday about Abhinya. Abhinya, something different. Standing from a higher pedestal, you are able to see everything. So just like I stand on a 3rd floor and I watch down, I can see the road, I can see the people, I can see the tree, I can see everything that is being there. In the same way, we have to have that abhinya, seeing for oneself. So the practice here is the Dasuttara Sutta, 10 things. Okay, this should be our foundation. That helps from Sotapanna to Arahat. This is applicable for me at whatever level I am in, and also for every one of us, depending upon whatever level we are in. So before we go into the Vedananupasana of what we started as Satipatthana few days ago, first we need to see what is that I need to develop. There's something I need to develop for myself. So the first thing I need to develop, which we already did on that day, is the Kayagata Sati. That means your body should be in such a way that you can be able to withstand it for long hours. Even while walking, or while bending, or while doing this, while eating and while sleeping and all that. So the body is able to be conditioned the way you want it to be, including sitting and closing eyes and meditation. So the first thing, we need to know the difference between the Buddha way of meditation and other meditation methods. This is where the Kayagata Sati is of greatest help. So the sutta is Kayagata Sati Sutta. That name itself has a sutta. Okay, so I had sent you that Excel sheet. In that you can find it. If you just click it, it will open up that sutta, so you don't have to search for that sutta. Now if you were to understand about the Buddha Dhamma's meditation versus other meditation, in the Buddha Dhamma meditation, it is both Samatha and Vipassana done together. It's not that I develop Samatha and then I come to Vipassana, or I only do Vipassana and then I don't do this, or various combinations. This is first thing. Secondly, the aspect here is the tranquility of the body and the tranquility of the mind. So both have to be developed. And the third important thing is that we don't have to, when somebody says that Shunyagara, it does not really mean that you go to an empty place. Or if it says that Rukka Mula, that doesn't mean that you go under a tree. There are two ways he explains, and that is very evident in Mahavidyala Sutta and as well as the Chulavidyala Sutta. These are the two suttas which give clarity on especially Shunyagara. So when people look at Shunyagara, they think that they have to go to an empty place. But what Buddha says in the Chula Shunyata Sutta is to make empty of what is full. So let's say in this room, presently, if a lot of people were to be sitting and they were to make sound, I need to go to a place where there is no sound. So I have made a shunya of the place where this sound doesn't exist. So let's say I am in a toilet. There is no sound except the sound I am going to make. Other than that, there is no other sound. So now the Shunyagara in that case is the toilet, and there is no other thing like a home, because when I am in that place, I am literally focusing only on that, and the remaining is removed. This one. Now come to Rukka Mula. Rukka is root. Go to the root of everything. So we don't have to go necessarily and sit under a tree, even though sitting under a tree is the best thing to do, but not in all circumstances. If there is a rain, you cannot go and sit. If there is something else which is happening, so we can't go and sit there. So basically we need to use some common sense rather than going by the textual interpretation or commentarial interpretation, which says that you need to go into an empty cell and sit. It might look good, but that's not what is meant. You have to make your mind empty of everything. So in the Chulavidyala Sutta as well as Mahavidyala Sutta, he explains that you have to make empty, shunya of what? Shunya of raga, dvesha, moha. This is the thing with which Nibbana is achieved. Okay. Now when we come to the Kayagata Sati Sutta, it is about making the body really comfortable. So first we start with Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddha. Then we do the Buddham Saranam Gacchami, not like a ritual. It doesn't really help if we are doing like a ritual. We have to reflect upon. So the first 15 minutes of whatever you want to do, even while you are walking or you are wanting to do walking meditation or sitting meditation, not closed eyes, just sitting meditation, or whatever you want to meditate, you just have to reflect upon the quality of the Buddha, and that helps you to make your mind calm. That's the first step. Now having done that, I need to establish the precepts. I'll just close the video for time being. So I need to establish the precepts, and the best thing is to establish all the 10 precepts which will remove the akusala. So I start with Panatipata, then I will reflect upon Panatipata, then Adinnadana, then I will look at Kameshu Michachara, then Musavada, Pisuna Vacha, Parusa Vacha, Sampaphalapa, then I will come into Abhinya, then Vyapada, Michhaditti. These are the 10 things I need to be removing all the time before I get into any of the meditation I would like to do. So Buddha meditation is in this way. So because you have to have vivichehi kamehi, secluded from kama and secluded from, that is vivichehi akusala dhammehi. That means the 10 immoral deeds. Now vivichehi kamehi is by establishing indriya bhavana, ensuring that the senses are under control. So sight, sound, taste, touch, smell and thoughts don't interfere. For that you require to either utter the Namo Tassa Bhagavata, all that you have done. So that is what takes care of the senses. And by establishing the precepts, you are ensuring that the akusala dhamma is removed. Once we are done with that, now we have to go with ones, that is Kayagata Sati, and then come with Satipatthana, which we had started. So for Satipatthana, the first thing we need to understand is, what do you mean by Sampajanya? We covered it, but it will be good to know what it really means. Sampajanya, as per the definition given in the Satipatthana Vibhanga section of Abhidhamma, that it is a wisdom, knowing something, what should be known, investigating something that needs to be investigated, going deep into the investigation, and finally ending up with the nature of things, the Dhamma. That helps in discernment, that is to unearth, be able to look at the characteristics, the overall characteristics and the dependent characteristics. When we do that, we are able to have the Panditya, meaning one endowed with wisdom or the knowledge. Kosalam means being very skillful, and Nipunna means intelligent person. Then is able to clarify, always being in the thoughtful of what he has investigated, then able to consider whatever he has experimented, and with that experiment he is able to understand the breadth of it, able to know through intelligence what really happens, and then he is having that guidance to have an insight, complete with full awareness, able to examine the results through which he gets the wisdom, and his indriya is shining with wisdom. Then he gets the panya bala, the strength of his wisdom. Then panya sattam, he has a sword of wisdom. Panya pasada, pasada means feeling elated, delighted. So he's having the delightment of the wisdom. Panya ratanam, that is, ratana means jewels. So panya, that is the wisdom, is shining like jewels. Then he has panya obhasa. Obhasa is luster, light, shining. Then he has a flame of wisdom, and because of that he doesn't have the delusion. And once he has that, he is able to get the Vishaya, the thing that needs to be known on Dhamma, and establishes it as right view, and that is what is called Sampajanya. So when we looked at the basically the Kaya Anupassana on that day, we found out that the 32 parts of the body has to be investigated. So this is what we did, meaning in the 32 parts of the body, he is able to see for himself, investigate for himself that what it consists of. So he is getting the wisdom of whatever he is consisting. So Atapi we also looked at, that is whatever mental effort he's putting, exertion he's putting, he's taking the endeavor or attempting to unearth things which he should unearth, and he is not having any kind of lethargy there. And he is ensuring that he is putting only the wholesome desires, and he's taken this investigation as a responsibility and putting in enough effort so that the faculty of effort or the indriya of effort is developed, and that creates strength of effort and becomes samma vayamo, and that is called as atapa. So the effort what I'm putting for sampajanya, and that creates sati. That means I'm getting into awareness, I'm getting into observation, I'm getting into recollection, I'm getting into remembrance, and all of this is called as mindfulness. Then I'm bearing that in the mind, not losing even for a moment, and it is not confusing to me. And when the confusion is gone, the mind automatically stays in samma sati. So this is what it would be, sati. Then loka is the body, what I take now, and the 5 aggregates. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, and Vijnana. That is a fuel for everything. So I've understood the loka, and because I've understood the loka, I'm able to get rid of abhinya, which is the raga. It's the flame of lust. Raga means flame of lust. Saraga is passion related to lust, and get into a burning desire, getting hot with that. When God creating enjoyment, passionate for enjoyment, or a passionate mind, this is called abhinya. And domanasam is feeling painful in the mind, and wherein the mind loses its equilibrium. So mental disagreeableness, a mental pain. It's like somebody torturing the mind and having a real painful experience. So coming out of abhinya and domanasam and loka, that gives the perfect recipe for investigation. Similarly, when we started on Vedana, we looked into how the Sukha Vedana comes in. Sukha Vedana is coming in because of the body is feeling really easy. Dukkha Vedana is coming because the body is feeling very painful because of the eating, or because of sitting, because of standing, because of walking, because of whatever it is. The body has become very painful. And And in some cases, I might not have any dukkha or sukha, that is neutral feeling. Now we continue further from there to look at samisa. Samisa means misa means mixed. So every sensual experience of sight, sound, taste, touch, smell and thought, when meets the expectation, you get samisa sukha. That is the mental agreeableness. You feel really happy. Just like I want to have a COVID injection and I go to the center and I don't find anyone, and I ask, is the center open? And he or she says yes. Can you give me a jab or the shot? And he says yes, we are waiting for somebody to come and you have come, so we can give it to you. And he gives or she gives in such a way that the pain is not felt. And I'm so glad that I didn't have to stand in the line, I didn't have to do anything, and I got the injection. And this is called samisa sukha. If I were to find a huge line of around 100 or 200 people, and my token says that mine is 184, and each person taking around 2 minutes for the injection, that means I have to wait for so much of time. So I will have samisa dukkha, because the sight, what I'm seeing, is not agreeable with me. I considered that it should be empty. However, there are 200 people and my line is 184, or my token says 184. Something similar with ice cream, or something similar with whatever. Or we go to the restaurant and then they say that you have to wait, you have to give your name and wait for some time, and then I have samisa dukkha. Whereas if I go to the restaurant and he welcomes me with smile and I'm the only person there with my family, and I start eating and then the food is tasting so good, wow, I have never had such a food in my life. So that is samisa sukha. So now I am experiencing sensual, pleasant feeling. So I know. What do you mean by knowing? Pajanati. Jana is to know. Pajanati is to completely know. What should I completely know? That how this pleasant feeling is coming. It's coming because of the condition. The condition is, I didn't have to stand in the line for the COVID-19 injection. I didn't have to stand in the line for the restaurant. I didn't have to bother about the food because it was so tasty. So I did not feel cheated that I paid so much money and the food was not of good quality. Now I find that the food is extremely good, extremely palatable. Same thing with sound. I go to a concert and I find that the ticket is available and I got the ticket, and then fortunately, I call that word fortunately, now my fortune has come and the singer is going to sing, and they say that you can go very near to the singer, and I feel so lucky because people pay money to get that, and I didn't pay so much of money, but they're asking me to go and sit next to or very near to that singer or to that musician whom I like. So sight, sound, taste, touch, smell and thoughts. if it matches with the mental expectation, that becomes Samisa Sukha. Now there is something called Niramisa Sukha. Niramisa is non-sensual. So I enter into the first jhana. Savitakka savichara piti sukha ekagata. So I enter into the first jhana. And it is established so smoothly. Just like an aeroplane taking off. I just take off on that journey. And I establish myself in the first jhana. I'm filled with a nice feeling. Not the blissful, not painful, but a nice feeling which I cannot express. And that is Savitakka Savichara. Then suddenly the body becomes so light that I hardly feel I have a body. And that is the piti, the second jhana, where there is no Savitakka Savichara. It's just blank. It's just peaceful, no body feeling. Very light. Then I get into the third jhana, where piti goes away and sukha appears. And it's so nice that I don't want to get out of it. And I don't hear anything, nor taste anything, nor smell anything, nor touch anything, nor think anything. It is so peaceful. It is so nice. So I am able to enter into third jhana. Then after a while, the mind becomes so equanimous that the sukha also goes away and I have no idea what's happening. It's like deep sleep, the fourth jhana. Now I establish in the best ever jhana. And this sukha, what I am getting, is Niramisa Sukha, the third jhana. Now we come to the Samisa Dukkha. We already spoke about it. Now we understand the Niramisa Dukkha. What is Niramisa Dukkha? Is that I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to get into the first jhana. How did it get spoiled? I ate a lot of food. Now I'm not able to sit. There is a lot of yawning. And the mind is not able to get established. It is restless. And on top of that, I've tried my best in reciting Etan Santan, Etan Panitan. That didn't work. Then I said Anicca Vata Sankhara Upadavaya Dhammino Upajitva Nirujjanti Tesan Upa Samosukho. That did not work. Then I did Iti Piso Bhagava Arahan Samma Sambuddho Vijja Charana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Satta Deva Manussanam Buddho Bhagava Iti. That also did not help. Then I thought, let me utter by sound itself. I'm not able to do it by mind, so let me use my words. And I start doing it, nothing happens. So this state of mind is Niramisa Dukkha. And then there is this Samisa Adukkhama Asukha. That means I don't have any expectation. I sit in the restaurant or I go to that COVID center to take my vaccination. I have no expectation. So I have Samisa Adukha Asukha, neutral feeling. Now let's look at Niramisa Adukha Sukha feeling. So this is where the equanimity is. So this is the fourth jhana. Having established the fourth jhana, I am in this Niramisa, neither pleasant nor painful, or which is called as neutral feeling. So now what he does is that Sotam Nimittam Asevati Bhaveti Bahuli Karoti Swavattitam Vavattapeti Sotam Nimittam Asevitva Bhavetva Bahu bahulikaritva swavathitam vavatta petva bahidda vedanasu chittam upasamarati. That means he will now internally observe and start focusing on outside. Bahidda. So Ajjatta is inside, Bahidda is outside. So he has a nimitta, sign. What is a sign? He will make a sign inside his mind that he needs to get established. So what he needs to get established? He needs to get established in knowing what is this feeling. This is Sukha Vedana. How? My body does not have any pain. This is Dukkha Vedana. How? My body has a lot of pain. This is Adukha Asukha Vedana. How? I don't even have any idea of this body because there is no pain, there is no pleasure also. Then I come to the mental, Samisa. So Samisa Sukha. Wow, what an ice cream. Samisa Sukha. Samisa Dukkha. I paid so much money for this ice cream and they have given a most lousiest of the ice cream. I don't like it. Samisa Sukha. Establishing to the third jhana. Samisa Dukkha. Not able to establish even the first jhana. Niramisa Dukkha. Samisa Adukha Asukha. I sit in a restaurant and I am not caring about whether the hotel is good or not. Niramisa Adukha Asukha. I enter into the fourth jhana. So he's able to know. The major thing is pajanati. He completely knows why is he in that. And when you know why are you in that, you are established in sati. So we established the sati on kaya. Now we are establishing the sati on vedana. This kaya and vedana, when established internally, can also be established externally on somebody else. So we can look at another person's body and we know exactly that it is made out of 32 parts, so there is no interest. Same thing with the feeling. There can be body feeling, so the person is either happy because the body is not having any pain, then the body is paining, so the person is in dukkha, and the body is not having pain or pleasure, adukha sukha. Then you have samisa, so somebody felt it should be like this and he got it like that, so he's very happy. Like a child or a student, he got first rank, and then that is samisa sukha. The student did not get the first rank, in fact he got a second class instead of a rank. Samisa dukkha. Then he did not expect anything at all, so samisa adukha asukha. Then we come to the niramisa sukha or samisa sukha. We spoke about, now we are in niramisa sukha. If he is doing meditation and is able to establish a nice feeling of the body, so samisa sukha. He tried, did not work out, very displeased, niramisa dukkha, and he got equanimous to the fourth jhana, niramisa asukha adukha. So this is what is called as vedana. Now after finishing vedana, we are coming into the chitta. This is the most difficult part to grasp. So for this you require to remember the 9 stages of Chitta becoming Vijnana. So we started with Chitta, then we started with Mano, Manasan, Hadayam, Pandaram, Manayatanam, Mana Indriyam, Vijnana and Vijnana Khanda. So when we look at the Chitta, when we say Chitta, at the 4th level, Hadayam, we need to observe. So you have to focus on the center of your heart, because everything touches to the center. So you will feel a sensation in the center of your heart, and you need to observe what happens there. So when a girl comes on the scene, there is a small feeling felt in the center of the heart. I think you all would have got it. Not on the girl, but anything, any object coming in and you like it, you'll feel that. Even if you don't like it, you feel that. So if you were to like it, then we need to see pajanati, to know completely that saragam va chittam, saragam me chittam pajanati. Now this has come with raga. At that instant I need to know that, not later, at that instance. I see a mobile, I already have a mobile, and I feel like going to that mobile store to find the new model which has come. That is raga. And you can feel there is a sensation or a disturbance or excitement, a pull in the heart. So the 6 senses, the 6th sense is the mind. The 5 senses are there in the Hadaya Vattu, where this gets a shining surface. It's called Pasada Rupa, a shining surface on which this object shines. So eye picks up that image and throws it on that shiny surface of the eye, and it starts to move because of Vijnana. So the inert object is now filled with life, and then I want to possess it. So even though it is an illusion, it doesn't seem to be an illusion. So I would like to procure, take, or do whatever it is. So then I start the conversation with that person. So that time I can observe that I have saragam va chittam. On the other hand, when I am hearing to the Buddha Dhamma, then I might have vitaragam va chittam. Vitaraga means there is no raga. V plus raga. That means removed from the raga. So the chitta is absolutely pure, not having any raga. So I went to ask for the mobile phone, and then he didn't answer properly. So I get dosa. Sadosam va chittam. Dosa means hatred. It can also means agitation. It also means aggression. It also means irritation. All of these are part of dosa. Whereas I might even have vita dosa. That means I don't have any ill feeling or irritation or aggression. or agitation or anything of that sort. A third one can be observed is samoham vachittam. So this person comes to me and I recognize her to be my wife. So this is called samoham vachittam. Vitamoham vachittam, meaning the object comes to me. I don't recognize it my wife. I recognize it as a skeleton. In that case, it is Vitamoham. Then I have Sankitham, collected mind. Collected mind means I exactly know what to speak. I exactly know what to see. I exactly know what to hear. That is called Sankitham. Vikitham, I have no idea what I am supposed to speak. I am totally confused. I am literally wrecked up, and that is called Vikitta, scattered. Then Mahagatam Vachittam, that means my mind, the chittas have become very great, they have become pure, able to penetrate anything I would like to penetrate. So if I see an object, able to penetrate without any problem. So this becomes Mahagatam. Amahagatam, that means it's not able to penetrate. It's become opaque, blocked. That is what it has become. So I need to know that at that moment, that my mind is in amahagatam. That's all. You don't have to worry about why it became amahagatam. Like that, I don't have to worry about why it became vikitham. Then I don't have to, not vikitham, vikitham. And I don't have to worry about samoham, I don't have to worry about sadosam, I don't have to worry about saragam. All of this, I don't have to worry. I just have to know that at present, my mind is saragam. My mind is sadosam, samoham, vikhitam, amahagatam. I don't have to correct it or do something about it, because if I do it again, it turns into dosa. So I need to just observe that at this moment, I am not established. What happens is that it drops off. It's an easy way cure rather than fighting with the chitta. It's not possible to fight with chitta. One chitta cannot fight with another chitta because they both are chitta only. Then we come to Sa-uttaram. That means Uttara means northward. So it is surpassed, it's gone up. Anuttaram, that means it could not. At this moment, my mind is not established upwards. Samahitam, it means that it is well connected. Whereas asamahitam is not very well connected. Vimuktam knows that the mind has only purity, there is no raga, dvesa, moha. Avimuktam, that raga, dvesa, moha are still there. So he now knows the nimitta of all of this. When, in what circumstances the mind, the chittas fire with raga, dvesha, moha, and then vikitta or sankitta, mahagatam or amahagatam, sauttaram or anuttaram, samahitam or asamahitam, vimuktam or avimuktam. So this is what would be on the Chittanupassana. Then we come to the Dhammanupassana. Now it is all about Nivarana here. So first one I need to see is whether I have Kamachanda. So there are a lot of ice cream parlors, there are good restaurants serving alcohol and beer and nice place to stay, resort, there are massages, massage parlors, and then nice women who can accompany me, and it's beautiful. The swimming pool is great, and there are a nice what we can say, we have a beach kind of environment there, a private beach at a private property, and I'm so lucky that I'm working for this organization. They have sponsored all of that. That I have Kamachanda. And I can observe that all of this are creating Kamachanda in me. Alternatively, I find that I am not getting attracted to any one of them. That means I don't have Kamachanda. He now knows. What he knows, or what I would know, is Yathacha anuppannassa kamachandassa uppado hoti tancha pajanati. Anutpanna, that which has not arisen. Kamachanda uppado hoti, how this Kamachanda can get developed, I know. Yatacha uppannassa kamachanda pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. And how can one abandon the arisen sensual desire? He knows it. Yatacha pahinasya kamachandasya ayatim anutpado hoti tancha pajanati. That means how there is a non-arising of abandoned sensual desire in the future, he knows. In that way, he removes Kamachanda. Then he comes to Vyapada. Santam va jattham vyapadam attime ajattham vyapado hoti tancha pajanati. That is, having seen that he has ill will getting developed, and he agrees within himself that I am at present indeed having vyapada, ill will. Now somebody is shouting at him, irritating him to the core, but yet he is peaceful. So at that time, as the sound is throwing onto his ears, he observes that, at this time, even with this much of shouting by the person, I don't have ill will. And he knows that yathacha anutpannassa vyapadassa uppado hoti tancha pajanati. How there would be an arising of ill will that has not yet arisen. He knows it. What trigger points would be there when the ill will is going to come out? Yathacha uppannassa vyapadassa pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. And how does there is an abandonment of ill will that has arisen, that he knows. Yathacha pahinassa vyapadassa ayatim anutpado hoti tancha pajanati. And how there is a non-arising of abandoned ill will, again in the future, he will come to know. Now sloth and torpor, thinnamida. Now he finds, I had a serious lunch and a serious dinner, and I am feeling bored. And because of that, at present, in my mind, ajattam tinnamidam iti pajanati attime. That means I know it is there with me. Asantam va ajattam tinnamidam. I don't have. I am very energetic. Nathime ajattam tinnamidam iti pajanati. Yatacha anutpanna satinnamidam tinnamidasa uppado hoti tancha pajanati. He knows how this unarisen tinnamida can happen. He knows if I were to eat more, if I were to remain hungry, if I were to sleep in the afternoon, if I were not to drink water, if I were to just while away time with something, if I am feeling bored, all of these are what causes thinnamida. So he knows. Yatacha uppannassa thinnamidassa pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. That means when the thinnamida comes in, he doesn't sit, he starts walking. He goes and washes his face, and he will go to the restroom and urinate or whatever he is supposed to do. Then he goes and have some deep breath in the open yard and comes back. Yatha cha pahinassa tinnamidassa ayatim anutpado hoti tancha pajanati. With this process, he knows that at what circumstances he needs to be doing this exercise so that in future thinnamida doesn't arise. Then coming to udacha kukkucha, santam va ajattam udacha kukkucham. Attime ajattam udacha kukkucham iti pajanati. That means now I have got udacha and kukkucha. Udacha is restlessness. Kukkucha is the fear of consequences. It's actually guilty consciousness which creates anxiety. I do something and I fear about it, and I fear for my life, I fear for my wife's life, I fear for my son's life, I fear for my daughter's life, I fear for the house, I fear on the road and this and that. When I do something, I have all kind of fears, and that creates severe anxiety attacks, and also moral fear that I've done something wrong, and guilty conscience keeps on pricking me. And that is what is called kukkucha. Udacha means just restlessness, which has agitation inside. Not the agitation of a dosa or vyapada. It's a different kind of agitation, wherein I want to do something, but it's making me not to sit in one particular place. It keeps on making me move from one to another. That is what it is. So he sees that, oh, presently I'm having either udacha or kukkucha or both. Or he knows that he doesn't have anything of that. He's completely blissful. There's no guilty conscience. Let's say panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami, and a mosquito comes in and I blast that mosquito. Now after that I fear the consequences. After knowing Buddha Dhamma, any killing is bad, and I've killed a mosquito, I have no idea what's the consequence is going to be. Or I generally eat chicken and I eat sheep and lamb and all those kind of fish and so many things. I'm used to it, I don't realize, and then I go to the mutton shop or to the chicken shop or to the fish stall, and I order for the breast of the chicken or a mutton, or I ask for a mutton biryani or a chicken biryani, and I start eating. And after I put that thing in my mouth and I had few of the gulps, and then suddenly I realized, oh my goodness, I had taken precepts. Oh shucks, what's going to happen now? That I'm not supposed to be eating non-vegetarian because I've made a solemn promise that Panati Pata Veramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami. Or in the office or anywhere, I do character assassination of the person, knowing very well that he has not done anything, but still I want him to get reprimanded for no reason, or I want him to be demoralized or degraded or whatever it is, and I know that he has not done it, but yet I want him to be fixed, and I do it. And after everything has happened, I start to feel guilty about it, that I shouldn't have done it. And one other mind will say, you did not do anything wrong, what he deserves it. And one set of the chittas will say that, no, you shouldn't have done it. So there was a fight between you should have done it and you shouldn't have done it, and these two are going on. So this is what is called as kukucha. And the restlessness can be caused due to kukucha also. So he knows that is there a kukucha there or it's not there. And then he will come to know yathacha anutpannasya udaccha kukuchasya uppado hoti tancha pajanati. He now knows that how this udacha and kukucha will arise, which is not arisen as of now. And yathacha uppannasya udaccha kukuchasya pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. And then how the abandonment of this would remove this from the source itself. And yathacha pahinasya udaccha kukuchasya ayatim anutpado hoti tancha pajanati. That means he now knows that it will not arise in the future, and he knows through what it will not arise in the future. Same thing on visikiccha, doubt. Attime ajjattam visikiccha iti pajanati asantam va ajjattam visikiccham nathime ajjattam visikiccha iti pajanati. That means I have or I don't have this doubts. Should I do this? Should I do that? Is this the right Dhamma? Is it not the right Dhamma? Is the right person to believe him as a teacher? Is not a right person to see him as a teacher? Should I see many videos? Or should I read many books? Or should I read this book? Or should I read that book? Should I be doing this or should I be doing that? And this whole episode is called Visikiccha. Or whether this language is correct, or this is correct, or that is correct, or this interpretation is correct, or that person speaking is correct, or this tradition is correct, or that tradition is correct, or this tradition is not correct, or that tradition is not correct, or this tradition is supposed to be there, or tradition shouldn't be there. And then whether this will lead to where it should lead or it will not lead to where it should lead. How do one know that it's going to lead or it's not going to lead? How do I know whether I'm a Sotapanna? How do I know whether I'm a Sakadagami? How do I know I'm an Anagami, and how I'm come to know I'm an Arahat? Are there any people who are called Arahats here? Are there people who are called Anagami here? Are there people who are called Sakadagami here? Or the people who are called Sotapanna here? How does one come to know that he has reached the Sotapanna stage, whether it can be really understood, or is any certification required for that, or somebody is going to help me to know that I'm already a Sotapanna, or if somebody says that only you will come to know, then how will I come to know? All of these are doubts. So this whole episode is a doubtful story, and this entire thing is called Visikiccha. Now the problem with Visikiccha is I keep on inquiring with people. So I will come to know if I am doing that, oh, at this moment Visikiccha has taken over and is tormenting me. So I come to know that yathacha anutpannasya visikicchaya uppado hoti tancha pajanati. How this arising of the non-arisen at present, something has arisen, but if I develop it, it is going to keep on arising more and more. I come to know. Yathacha uppannaya visikicchaya pahanam hoti tancha pajanati. Now how do I solve this problem? Oh, I need to know Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So if I were to properly understand Itipiso Bhagava and Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo, Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Dhammo, so all the three, if I were to understand it correctly, experience it, then my doubt is not there. So I know Yathacha Uppannaya Visikicchaya Pahanam Hoti Tancha Pajanati. How did I abandon? Yathacha Pahinaya Visikicchaya Ayatim Anutpado Hoti Tancha Pajanati. And how there is a non-arising of that abandoned doubts which are not going to torment me in the future, I will come to know. Now, having done that, he gets into the Bhujanga. So this one we can take it up tomorrow, but see, because Bhujanga is a huge topic to discuss, so we will take that tomorrow. Any questions on this Satipatthana for meditation? So this is what you need to meditate. Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana and Dhammanupassana. Continuously. When you practice it continuously, you will move from this, meaning Sotapanna. Slowly it starts moving from Sotapanna to Sakadagami to Anagami to Arahat. This is how it would go. So it becomes more and more clearer. That's all I had, unless you have questions.
So just one question.
Sure.
When you were speaking about sloth and torpor, I mean, are you indicating that, I mean, yes, you can observe, like, if I eat, it induces drowsiness, etc. But that's in that part of sloth and torpor in the Satipatthana, is the Buddha indicating not to sleep or try not to sleep?
No, you can sleep. When the body is tired, you can sleep.
Okay, fine.
But this sleep is different. This sleep is different. This sloth and torpor sleep is different. You generally feel lethargy. The normal sleep is different.
I understood.
Okay, good. What else? So one lady, I think so, she has messaged on YouTube, can you teach something on Shila? That means Panchashila. And she says that I struggle to get my Shila correct. So this can be done. So we can do it together. That's what I would say to her if she's still there on online. Okay, don't have any further question, then we can end the session for today and take it up tomorrow. The balance portion.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Namo Buddhaya and good night to everyone.
Thank you, sir. Namo Buddhaya. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye.